We're gonna finish off our day picking up H76. Emily Byrne has a fiscal note for us. She's gonna share her screen, the miracle of technology that this committee is just getting our heads around. Just making squinty faces.
Just getting it pulled up, making sure I don't have echoey.
And then there's an amendment under my name that changes some dates that we'll also talk through.
I'm sorry, where would I find the amendment?
If you refresh, it's under my name.
Okay.
There it is. Okay.
All right.
And the bill that we're
Okay.
working on is under Emily Byrne's name. Emily, you made magic. There you go.
All right. So hi everyone, Emily Byrne from the Joint Fiscal Office, here to just go through a quick fiscal note on H76 and act relating to captive insurance. Most of this bill has no fiscal impact. And I would argue the bill itself doesn't really have any fiscal impact other than there is sort of a change in the timing of when funds are going to flow to the general fund. So that's the major change that's outlined in section 2 of the bill. So in section 2, it changes the percentage of the premium taxes collected on captive insurance that gets allocated directly to the Department of Financial Regulation from 11% to 13%. So mechanically what this will do is that annually they get that, it's sort of taken off the top of the captive premium tax and will get allocated directly to the Department of Financial Regulation. It'll go up by 2%. The reason that this has no fiscal impact is unique to the way that DFR is structured and the way that funds flow between DFR and the general fund. So what happens now with the captives premium tax, that goes into the DFR captives special fund, and then DFR spends it throughout the year. What's happened the last couple of years is the captive special fund has ended the year in the red. So then what DFR does at the end of the fiscal year, prior to their transfer of all of their excess tax funds, is true up that fund to get it back to zero balance. So that what they end up doing is transferring funds out of the insurance fund or somewhere else into the captives fund to get it to zero. And then they do their big transfer to the general fund. So effectively what this will do is add a little bit more revenue on the front end to DFR, to the captives fund. Hopefully by fiscal year end, they'll be either at positive or less in the red. And then when they do their big transfer at the end of the year, they'll sweep the captives fund back to the general fund. So hopefully that makes some sense. So it's either they get it on the front end or they true it up and then decrease their direct application on the back end, but the net impact to the general fund is the same. So that's all that tweak is doing. But it's good to know when the money is, where that, the zero impact just changes the timing of the flow to the general fund versus the department. And the other, so that's the sort of section 2 outline that's in the fiscal note. Sections 1 through 6, they're just housekeeping. There's no fiscal impact of those. Section 7 is the effective dates. Currently, the way that the bill was presented to the committee, the effective date is on passage, which would put this change from 11 to 13% outlined in section 2 effective during fiscal 2023. And that is my understanding is not the department's intent or the intent of the bill. It's actually to go into effect for fiscal year 2024. So Maria Royal from Ledge Council has drafted an amendment, which I believe you have, that changes the effective date to July 1 of 2023. So the first day of fiscal 24 will change when that percentage goes up. So that there is no impact in the current fiscal year. It will just be going forward.
I don't have any questions for Emily.
I see nothing wrong with this.
Oh, great, me either. And we need every vote since we're missing 3 people, so we're glad to do that. Representative Anthony.
Procedurally, should we start over and incorporate the amendment into a new draft, or should we vote it separately and vote the amendment first?
I think we would have vote the amendment first and then
Okay.
the draft, but I want to make sure there aren't any other thoughts beforehand.
Isn't the draft a strike law?
Does that, the amendment or the draft?
The draft?
Yes.
Yes.
Does that matter?
No.
Okay.
Anyway,
But it is the
Ways and
bill.
Means Amendment is not a strike.
No, no,
Right, but the draft is a strike.
but that doesn't,
Yeah.
but
All right.
that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Representative Taylor, sorry, Representative
No.
Radigan, maybe you had an original point that I cut you off on, so I'm sorry.
Well, I forgot that I was gonna say, the only question I had is, I just wanna clarify, this money that we're using here is money that comes from the people who buy the captive policies. It's not coming from the Vermont taxpayer.
It's not coming from the Vermont taxpayer. It's actually not even really coming from the people who buy the captive policy. It's it's the corporations who set up captives who pay it in order to set up a captive. And I should have had Emily answer that question, not me.
The premium tax, whatever the insurance premiums are for captives.
Okay, thank you. I'm done. I'm voting yes.
Representative Taylor, do you have something?
No.
Oh, okay.
do you want a motion or do you want to wait till folks come back? Or
I think Jim said he wanted to come back. So we're going to take a very brief pause and one person in this room is going to go run downstairs and find Jim.
Carol, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. And if
Okay.
you happen to see